Hello, this is Swathiramya, Assistant Professor, AIDS Department, SNS College of Engineering. You are here with me in IOT lecture series. In the previous video, we were discussing about the how IoT works with the real-time environment and the use cases and what is AI. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the few components of IoT. Let me start with a quick introduction about IoT. The main purpose of IoT is to connect n number of devices, any device, any place, anywhere, anytime. We could able to connect any devices at any time, at any place, at anywhere. That is the main goal of IoT. Let's discuss about the components of IoT. As I told you before, IoT is a connection of devices. Let the devices can be the real-time things. It can be a vehicle or object, any kind of devices which should be embedded with a sensor, and it should have the support of the software and also the network connectivity. See, we are connecting these n number of devices together for the purpose of communication. These devices should able to communicate with each other without the human interference. So when they need to communicate to each other, they need the help of connectivity, and also they need the support of software. And these devices are will have to collect the data from real-time environment. So we need the help of embedding and also the sensors. So that is the reason the devices should support the software and network connectivity, which will help us to fulfill the goal of IoT. So let's see the components of IoT. Let's start from the basic things. Okay, the first step of IoT is to collect the data from the real-time environment. So we need a sensors to collect the data from the real-time environment. For example, if we need the data like the temperature of the room, you need the temperature sensor. And if you need to collect the humidity of the soil, you need a sensor for humidity. And if you need the air pollution in the particular area, you need the sensors depend on your applications. So the first component of IoT will be the sensors. Okay, the sensors helps us to collect the data from the environment, and these data can be either temperature, motion, moisture level, air quality, light of the place, everything it can have, depends on its applications. And secondly, you can have the devices like smart devices, computing devices, either the smart watches. If it has been used in the industry, it connected with the cobots, kind of that things. Okay, cobots, home appliances, and it can be any devices which we are connecting to the IoT. That all comes under device component. Next component will be connectivity. You have been collecting all the data either using some kind of devices, and these data has to be transferred from one device to the other device. For example, you have been collecting the temperature of the room using the thermostat sensor, and these data will be transferred to, it has to be transferred to the cloud for further processing. Okay, so you need the connectivity to transfer this data from the device to the cloud, right? So you need a connectivity here. There comes the role of the networks. So networks, these devices will transfer the data from the device to the cloud through various communication networks. The communication network can be medium of communication, can be like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, or any kind of cellular networks like 4G, 5G, anything like that. Okay, and we need a protocol for these communication. And IoT, it will support the few protocols like MQTT, COAP, HTTP, HTTP, and few web protocols it will support for the file transfer. These are all the network components of IoT. Next, you have been collecting the data with the help of sensors, and these data has been transferred to other device with the help of network components. And what you will do with that data? For example, you have been transferred the data to some cloud. What you will do with this data? We need this data for processing, obviously. So next step will be the processing. You can do the processing either with the local storage devices or with the cloud computing. When the data is processed at the edge of the network near the device data source to reduce the latency and the bandwidth usage, it is termed as edge computing. If the data is sent to the cloud server where it is processed, analyzed and stored, and it uses platforms like Amazon Web Server, AWS IoT, Microsoft Azure IoT. These clouds can also be used to process the data. So there comes the data processing. Okay, this is also one of the component of IoT. You collected the data, you transfer the data with the help of network connectivity, and you process the data with the either edge computing or cloud computing. Then what you will do with this data? You collected, you processed output also you have been received already. So next thing, obviously, data analytics. For this, you can use the big data analytics and machine learning algorithms. Big data, usually, generally, IoT will generate a large number of data. For example, let's take the surveillance camera which has been fitted in some place. Okay, it has to record the play. It has to record, capture the video 24 by 7. So we'll have the large number of data. So IoT generates the large volume of data which are analyzed to derive some output. Okay, it has to be analyzed to make some decisions. So we'll use a big data analytics here for data analytics, and we can use some machine learning or deep learning algorithm for prediction, for making decision. Okay, to make the things automated. So data analysis over. Okay, you collected the data, you transfer the data with the help of network component, and you put the data in the cloud. You process the data with the help of cloud computing components, and you make prediction and you take decisions with the help of data analytics component. Finally comes the user interfaces. So the user needs to know all those things, right? The end purpose is the user has to control the IoT devices with the help of these data. So final thing, the IoT system through the web application or mobile application will present the data to the users, which helps the user to control or remotely monitor the IoT devices. These are the basic components which is needed to build the IoT system. With this, I'll wind up the session. Let me continue the next session in the next video. Bye bye. See you.